In this video, you will learn the 5 biggest secrets that men hide from women. And these secrets are huge because they are the keys to unlocking a man's heart. So knowing them and implementing them makes you infinitely more attractive and irresistible to your man. Don't go anywhere because we're starting right now. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Antonio Borrello and I'm a psychologist and a relationship coach. This channel is all about helping you build great relationships so you can grow happy with the people you love. So if you're interested in making your love life the best part of your life, start now by clicking the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you aren't missing anything. Okay, on to the 5 biggest secrets that men hide from you. So what are these keys to unlocking a man's heart and why are they secrets? Well, they're considered secrets because they're the things that men want and need to fall completely in love with a woman, but they aren't necessarily things that men can articulate or tell you. Think about it. If you ask the average man the qualities that would make him fall in love with a woman, do you think he could tell you? I mean, he might say, someone I'm really attracted to, someone who is sexy, someone who is fun and I get along with, right? But those are just the tip of the iceberg. And sure, those things are important and expected, but they aren't the keys to him falling in love with you. Instead, the secrets that I'm about to share are based on solid psychological science, and when you use them, you will become irresistible. You will become the woman that he just can't get enough of, and you will unlock his heart and be the woman that he falls in love with. So, without further ado, here's number 1. A man wants a woman with high standards. Your standards are the values and expectations you set for your life and for your relationships. Standards are basically a set of unwritten rules that guide your relationship, and keeping high standards means that you are not willing to put up with or tolerate behaviors or actions that fall short of your expectations. As the saying goes, what you will allow is what will continue. That means that people will treat you as good or as bad as you allow them to. The problem that so many people have, when they meet someone they really like, they are often willing to compromise and lower their standards and accept less than they deserve. And if you do that, you're setting low parameters for him. Here's an example. Let's say you've just met a man that you really like and you start talking to him via text. Perhaps you see him as someone that you'd like to date. Now, let's say that instead of inviting you out on a date, he simply asks if he can come over and hang out. If you keep your standards and expectations of him high, you would let him know that if he wants to see you, he should plan a proper date. If he rises up to your expectations and plans a date, then you know he is meeting your standards because he values the relationship. On the other hand, if you allow him to just come over and hang out rather than take you on a date, what is the message you're sending him? Do you see the difference here? When you compromise your standards, you are always going to get less than you need and less than you deserve. You are setting the bar low, you are setting the parameters low, and you're letting him know that it's okay to treat you poorly and you'll still be right there. And when he knows that, then you lose value in his eyes and he begins to see you in a different light. When he knows you're sticking around despite his little effort, he begins to take you for granted. He underappreciates you and he no longer works as hard on trying to be the best partner he can be. Number 2, a man wants a woman who understands him. Understanding and empathizing with another person forms the basis for deep emotional intimacy. And emotional intimacy is a precursor to having a loving relationship. So if you are a person who understands him, if you are the woman who understands him better than anyone else, he is going to develop a bond and a connection with you that's stronger than any other. But how do you do that? Well, it starts with you becoming good at active listening. Active listening is when you fully commit to understanding what someone is expressing to you and you listen with intent, purpose, and without any distractions or interruptions. And several psychological studies have shown that active listening is related to higher evaluations of social attractiveness. For example, in one study, participants who received active listening responses were more satisfied with their conversation and perceived the confederate to be more socially attractive than participants who received simple acknowledgments. So, when you're talking to your man, you can boost and heighten your level of attraction by practicing active listening. Think about it. So many people today are totally preoccupied by their phones and by social media and by texts. So having a conversation with a person who is actively listening, a person who is completely present and in the moment, is highly attractive and further cultivates warm feelings. So How do you engage in active listening? Well, it involves listening in the following ways. First, don't interrupt or judge the person who's talking. Second, nod your head and give short verbal signs and lean into the person talking so that you are showing that you acknowledge what the person is saying. Third, paraphrase what they've said so they know that you've understood. And fourth, ask questions to signal that you've paid attention and are interested. I promise you, active listening is super important. And I've only given you a brief overview, so take some time to do a Google search on active listening and begin to incorporate it into your life. It will impact all of your relationships in the best way. Now we're getting to the good ones, so keep watching because things are about to get really interesting. Number 3, a man wants a high-value woman with a life of her own. As I've said in other videos, one of the most important traits that men find attractive in women is independence. In other words, men are attracted to women who have a full life, not to women who come off as needy and clingy. If you have your own life, men will find that independence sexy. It reminds him that he isn't the center of your world, so therefore he has to put in more effort to get to spend time with you. So be yourself and make yourself a priority and demonstrate that you are a high-value woman. Cultivate your own rich life, one that he would be fortunate to be part of. Take care of yourself first and do the things that you like to do. Make plans to do things for yourself each and every week and grow and enrich your relationships with your friends and your family. Remember, you should continue to engage in the practice of self-love, and when you do, you become a woman who exudes inner confidence and high self-esteem. You become a woman that knows that she has choices when it comes to men. And that goes a long way towards helping him to see you as a high-value woman with an exciting life. And when you do that, he's going to want to be a part of that life. Remember, your relationship started because of who you are. If you lose your identity in the relationship, you will likely lose a relationship too. Number 4, a man wants a woman with a backbone. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but how you handle those disagreements can either make him more attracted to you, or it can make you lose value in his eyes and become less attractive. How both of you behave now when you have a disagreement also says a lot about how you will or won't resolve problems in the future. And I'm not saying that fighting or arguing a lot is a good thing, but disagreeing and arguing is a sign that you both have your own opinions and are strong enough to stick to them. Learning to disagree and even make real compromises is a win-win for both of you, and as a result, increases feelings of closeness and emotional intimacy, which leads to deeper feelings of love. In fact, when I hear of new relationships where the couple never disagree or argue, well, that's when I become concerned. Because if a couple have been dating for 3 or 6 months and have never disagreed or argued, then someone is hiding something. Somebody is hiding their feelings or just not being honest about what they really think or about their desires and preferences. In other words, one partner is going along with everything the other one wants. For example, I've known women who start dating a man and suddenly they find themselves watching hockey every night or going fishing and hunting every weekend despite the fact that they truly have no interest. And what it means is that they're always putting the other person's feelings and desires above their own. And they do that because they think that being agreeable makes them more desirable or more likable. Now, being agreeable may feel like you're keeping the peace, but this will not work out in the long run. It eventually causes feelings of resentment and depression or anger towards your partner and towards yourself. And more importantly, it's not attractive. A man wants a partner, not a person that doesn't have an opinion or a backbone. So don't be afraid to express your feelings and your preferences. If a man loves you, he will also want to do things that make you happy. Number 5, a man wants a woman he has to work hard for and chase. When you are just starting to get to know a man, you have to lean back and let him pursue you. Allow him to put in the effort to prove that he is worthy of your time. That means that you can't be pursuing him. He's a man, and from both an evolutionary perspective as well as from a cultural perspective, men are prepared to pursue women in the courting process. Boys are taught that they are supposed to show interest. They are taught to ask girls to dance, to ask for their number, and to ask them on a date, and so on. This is something that has been ingrained in them in so many ways. They are brought up knowing that they are supposed to initiate and pursue. And besides being part of their socialization, from an evolutionary perspective, the chase is also a primal response. Men are the hunters, the ones who pursue and compete with other men for your attention and affection. It's ingrained into the deepest parts of the brain. It's an evolutionary response to millions of years of competing with other species for survival. So, when a man is trying to win your affection, when a man is trying to win your attention, he's working so hard at this goal. He is putting in so much time, so much effort, trying to express his feelings in every way imaginable. And as a result of all of his effort and investment, he begins to really value you. He is really liking you, and he is really wanting you. But if you are the one who is always the first to reach out, to text, or to call, you risk upsetting this expectation and his desire to pursue you. Instead, let him invest in you by pursuing you. Let him put in the effort. People care more when they put more effort into their relationships. So if you want your man to fall in love, you have to let him pursue you and invest in you. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about allowing him to plan dates, to drive to your side of town, allow him to help you with things, small favors, helping you complete a project at home, or help with studying, things that take time and effort. The more he invests, the more he will like you as a result. I know it seems counterintuitive, but trust me, when he does something nice for you, he will be pleased with himself and feel extra warm towards you. Remember, we appreciate and value the things that we work hard for, so let him work for it. I've made another video on the habits that make you hot, or the habits that make you more attractive. You can click here to watch that video now, or click here to watch the video that YouTube thinks you'll like. I'll see you in the next video.